All right. Well, this is going to be different, but welcome, everyone. My name is Citizen Strife, and I'm normally not on YouTube and haven't been for a while. But circumstances being what they are and times being what they are, I had a lot of extra free time on my hands recently and thought, you know what? I figured I wanted to boot something up and play it. Now you'll notice it says Final Fantasy III. But as we know, it's Final Fantasy VI. This is from the SNES Classic version. So any Nintendo property has the title 3. Anything released after this or for a different system is technically considered 6. But this is Final Fantasy VI. And this is going to be a bit of a test for me. I haven't done Let's Plays for a long time. But I wanted to see how this game still stacks up. I did this way back a couple years ago, but not in this format. I just wanted to see if this would be of interest to anybody, give me something new to do, and let's see how we do. Long ago, the War of the Magi reduced the world to a scorched wasteland, and magic simply ceased to exist. 1,000 years have passed. Iron, gunpowder, and steam engines have been rediscovered, and high technology reigns. But there are some who would enslave the world by reviving the dread, destructive force known as magic. Can it be that those in power are on the verge of repeating a senseless and deadly mistake? One thing I have to wonder is if I'm on the demo part of it or if I'm actually legitimately playing. We'll figure out in a second. There's the town. Hard to believe an Esper's been found intact there, 1,000 years after the War of the Magi. Think it's still alive? Probably, judging from the urgency of our orders. And this woman, this sorcerer, why is she here? I heard she fried 50 of our Magitech armored soldiers in under 3 minutes. Not to worry. The slave crown on her head robs her of all conscious thought. She'll follow orders. We'll approach from the east. Move out. It looks like I'm being able to play it just fine. And thus begins Final Fantasy VI. And this is my favorite Final Fantasy game for a lot of reasons. This was not the first I ever played. Like most people, it was probably Final Fantasy II, which was for Final Fantasy VII in that case. But I distinctly remember just the ambiance this game had. You can hear it in the music. You can hear it in the vibe. This was Final Fantasy at its peak. At least in the SNES era. A lot of people like 7, 9, 10. And, you know, you could like so many of the other ones, sure. But it's depending on what you're looking for. And what I was looking for was character-driven story. But I was also looking for a good sense of combat. Was the combat good? Were the villains good? Were everything else good? And to me, this stands the test of time despite all the work that they've done and all the things that they've had so far. The expansion into movies, the expansion into, like, high-end graphics. something this simple, something this unique doesn't come by too often. And it's kind of funny because I don't believe the creators of this game, looking back on it, put as much stock into it as like someone like me. Because it's not as well known or remade as like 4. And specifically not 7. But and it was the demo. So what I will do is let this roll and I'll talk about it more. So we're going to show this over again. That's fine. Should be able to play this. But it seems like such a shame, because Final Fantasy IV had all of those remakes, right? You had Final Fantasy IV for the SNES, you had it for the PlayStation, you had it for basically every console or release. And as good as that game is, I don't know if it deserved sequels and prequels and all of these things. And Final Fantasy VI sits there and goes, why am I here? I'm popular, you know? People like me. And one of the things that I believe goes about is that Final Fantasy VI was more popular in the West than it was in the East. So that might explain it. That might explain why, well, of course, 7 gets all the publicity, and with the new remake, it makes perfect sense that Final Fantasy VII gets all of the publicity. But I'm hoping with all the sales that it worked itself to the point where other games in the franchise get the love like this one does. Because 4 got a release on the DS, and I think that style should be what they go for. I don't know if you really need to invest all the money in creating the Final Fantasy VII remake experience. I'd love that. I'd love to see Narsh or Figaro or whatever in full HD. And here we go. We're good. Okay. Let's put her on point. No sense taking risks. Forward! So, control Terra, Vixen, Wedge, or Biggs and Wedge. They're characters that tend to show up in Final Fantasy a lot. Machine writing self-important swine, take this! Oh, I gotta kill a doggy? Or a wolf. One thing to notice is Terra gets a couple extra skills. Tech Missile's the best one, but excuse me, you'll only get instances of the others eventually. Imperial Magitech armor? Not even Narsh is safe anymore. God, this music's so good. That's one of the reasons I love this game so much. This is probably the best of the original themes. 4, again, really good. And I spoke about that before, and probably as, you know, new songs come in, that'll happen. I'll try to throw in little bits and pieces of thought process and intrigue during the voice acting. I will try to get the voice acting in there as well. That's something that I've gotten used to doing. So I want to do it more often, but I also do want to get some thoughts about the game when I can, so I'll do that while fighting more. Narsh's freedom depends on us! I'm not going to say I'm a voice actor or anything, far from it, but I think part of the reason you want to do something like this is to do this. You get a game like this that doesn't have acting. You get the chance to add that. You get the chance to express yourself. You get the chance to try new things. And God willing, I'm going to try. I might fail, but I'm going to try to sound interesting and fun and free and happy. Because how could you not be happy with this game? I know there are some people who don't like it, and hopefully it's my prerogative to change people's minds, or at least to add a new wrinkle to things, if possible. We've got them trapped now! Or at least have yet another... Like, people should know this game by now, right? I don't know what if I'm going to add anything new or not, but it's part of the fun. You don't play a game like this and not enjoy yourself. And I've played it enough to know kind of the ins and outs, but the game itself is one of the wonkier ones in terms of glitches and fun stuff that happens. So that's going to be another fun little thing to experience and experiment with. I'm just going to check on the time here. Okay. I'm going to want to go 20, 30 minutes or so, just to make sure. So I might be looking at that clock every once in a while. We must defend the mines! Could have done that better. Oh well. And I'm gonna need to deal with these guys. So, Bioblast. I told you she had unique skills. And this is probably the strongest. In terms of getting rid of everybody on screen. The other thing I'm gonna want to do... Yeah, there we go. That's another thing that I'd say the Nintendo version has over the Sony PlayStation version. If anybody's ever played Chrono Trigger and such, you'll know that. According to our source, the Frozen Esper was found in a new mineshaft. Maybe this one. There are a lot of load times in the Sony PlayStation version. The last time I played Chrono Trigger, it was tough. Last time I played Final Fantasy VI, it was tough because of that. If you have access to the version I'm playing, do it. If you have access to ones that don't take as much time to start battles, as much time to start menus, that is the one drawback to the Sony version. That is life, I suppose. But either way, you get the same game. And the eerie glow surrounds you. Want info about save points? I would think we know about save points. I would think we know enough. Yeah, look at this. That's so quick. Oh, you hit me. Actually, now that I think about it, this would be a good chance to just heal. I spoke before about the music in this game and why I really appreciate it. I think there's something to be said about a production value and a mix. I'm not a music whiz or anything, but I know enough about like the sound that I want in a game, or the sound I want in a just a mix, so to speak. And to me, I like more guitar, I like more bass, I like bass, but I don't want it to overdo the music. But the best way I could describe it, and I'll stop here for a second, is in Final Fantasy IV, they were experimenting with all the sounds. In SNES, you had more bass, more overall quality, more instruments you could use. And I felt that the song structure themselves lended themselves to playing a lot more bassy tracks, and I really liked those. They don't have a lot of uniqueness and layering to them, but they were bassy. Final Fantasy V tended to use a lot of brass horn instruments and a lot of like unique, fanciful, for lack of a better term, work. and I don't think I appreciated it as much because it sounded a little tinny, a lot of trebly. There were some good songs on there, Clash of the Big Bridge, for example, but 6 was a good mix of both. You had a good mix of instruments, and you had everything kind of working for it, because this was the end of the cycle of Final Fantasy and, you know, the Super Nintendo. So you had the best of both worlds. Uh-oh. We won't hand over the Esper. Doe. Welk, get him! Oh no, a boss. Whatever shall I do? Wait, what? Hold it! Think back to our briefing. What about it? Do you recall hearing about a monster that eats lightning? That stores the energy in its shell? Right. So whatever you do, don't attack the shell. Alright already! Oh boy. And this boss is so stupid. The whole point is to attack it while it's free and wait. Hurry up and wait. Or you could just let Terra do all the damage, which she's going to do because she has tech missile and everything. And when he goes in there. If you're an idiot and you attack it, it'll use Bolt 2 in the form of, I think, Gigavolt? Megavolt. Yeah, Megavolt is Bolt 2. Gigavolt is later, it's Bolt 3. If you wait it out, he'll come back. So fairly similar to the Final Fantasy VII boss, but even easier, because he doesn't attack. Or if he does, it's pretty freaking weak. Slime? No. That's slow. I don't want that. And he's going to do it again! So how was everybody else's day? I'm stuck looking at a shell. I'm stuck staring at screens all day. Come on. I remember my friend died to this guy once. So you just do this a couple of times, and I don't know how much HP he has, but you attack the Sluggo. You take out the Sluggo, he's dead. Don't need to attack the shell, he's done. And the iconic fanfare. Actually, let me get my full hand in there. Nice. Okay. Oh, man. That's what I get for backtracking. I was going to save, but instead, I had to be dumb, and I had to move. These guys get hurt by this? Yes. I know either they or a palette swap version of them gets healed by fire or ice. I forget which. And, okay. This is the frozen Esper. Tritalk. Hey, what's the matter? Do you know something we don't? The frozen creature began emitting an eerie light. Where's that light coming from? Ah! Hey! Where are you? What's happening? Well, she got off lucky. Sort of. I mean, she's not dead. So I guess that's an improvement. Where am I? Whoa! I only just removed the crown. Head hurts. Easy. This is a slave crown. The others had complete control over you while you were wearing it. I can't remember a thing. Don't worry. You know, I'll come back to you. In time, that is. A mysterious young woman, controlled by the Empire, and born with the gift of magic. So you can name her Terra, or whatever you choose. My name is Terra. Impressive. I've never heard of anyone recovering this fast. Oh, crap. Not the doggos. Open up! Give back the girl and the Empire's Magitech armor. Open this door! We want the girl. She's an officer of the Empire. Empire? Magitech armor? Look, I have to get you out of here. I don't have time to explain. Over here. Time to go, time to go, time to go. Make your way out through the mines. I'll keep them occupied. Should be able to sprint. I guess not. She's up there! Yeah, I can't sprint. I'm gonna need a relic for that. Unfortunate. And now she's all on her lonesome. Is there a save point? Yes! Perfect. Perfect timing. Okay. So any upstanding YouTuber, content creator knows to double save. So that's what I shall do. But this was a first, and what I hope is many, many, many other videos. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, or subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitch at Citizen Strife. But please let me know how I did, and we'll keep going on this journey next time.